Today's video is a bit out of topic because we are not talking about plants, we are not talking about aquariums, and we are not talking about pets. But we are talking about languages because some of you may already know that I love Chinese, so I'm using all the means in the internet to learn Chinese. Today is the day that I complete 100 days streak in Chinese course in Duolingo. Duolingo is a language learning app, and sadly I'm not sponsored, but this will give me the chance to point out the good and the bad things about the app and give you an honest opinion overall. I will be talking mainly about the Chinese course, but some things are applicable to all the courses around the app. So this will be a review of the app, an honest review of the app, with my personal experiences and ideas about improvement, some errors, and etc. The first thing that I want to point out is that if your expectations are to get a master level in your language with Duolingo, then that's not the case. Duolingo can help you to achieve an intermediate level. Eventually, you will have to use other apps and means like music, podcasts, movies, text, books, and etc. in order to level up your skills. In the free version of the app, there are of course ads, but they will not appear in the middle of the lessons. Instead, they will appear only when the lesson is completed. The next thing is stories. Duolingo has added some time ago some stories for learners to practice the things that they learn in the lessons in reading mode. But the sad fact is that for some courses like Chinese, stories are not available yet, something that is frustrating, but yet again we can use some other apps and the internet to get the text that we need. Next comes alphabet. Korean, Japanese, and some other languages like Arabic have a different tab on the app that I will be showing you, which is learn the alphabet. Sadly, Chinese doesn't have this feature, and I would really wish for the app to have a list with the characters, or at least, for example, the pinyin for the starters, and maybe some radicals in order to be able to understand what components each character has. I've asked around some friends who also use Duolingo, and all had to say that a huge turn-off of the app is that it doesn't start with a clear structure in the course. It doesn't start with the pronouns and some words that are essential for everyday life, like essential verbs. It starts with words like road, apple, man, woman. We need to have a more clear structure. The app doesn't provide that. One positive fact about Duolingo is that the community is active, and if there is a phrase that has a problem, then it will be reported and fixed soon. I haven't still found a phrase that it is not fixed. Even though Duo has the hobby to put up random phrases that you will never use, like a green alien is standing behind your back, it actually has some phrases like I want the taxi to stop here, how much do I have to pay, and etc. that are really helpful. One thing that I love about the app is that before the lessons there is a page where you can see the tips about the grammar that you are going to face in this lesson. So if someone has the time, he could probably get a textbook and notebook and write down all these tips from the whole course, and then you will have a pretty good kind of helper for the next texts and learning experiences to come. Another positive thing is that the whole app kind of is free, so you will not complete, for example, the first part of the lessons and then you will have to pay $20 for the next part of the course. That's not the case. You can complete the whole course as many times as you want with the free version. Of course, premium versions have some benefits like no ads and unlimited hertz, but I guess that's not something that you actually need. Maybe if you want to support the developers, you could buy the premium version, but overall the free version is quite stable and okay for you to complete the course. The $1 million question, which is it worth it? Yes, it is worth it if you are starting out in the language, if you want to review the basics like me, or if you are a student that wants to practice things that you learn in the school. Yes, of course it is worth it and I recommend it. But it will not get you really far. You will have to use other apps. And the second question is, will I continue to use it? Yes, I will continue to use it because sometimes my memory fades and I forget some basic vocabulary. So that was it for today's video. I hope that you will give Duolingo a chance. Of course, always remember that every app has its pros and its cons, so we need to combine them all for the unique experience of language learning.